So, you're thinking about buying a 2014 all the way up to a 2018 and soon the 2019 Chevy Silverado or even the GMC Sierra. Congrats, first of all. They're an awesome truck. Out of the top 3 brands, definitely my favorite. I've always been a Chevy guy all my life, so I think that's awesome that you're picking that brand. But there are a few things that you want to look out for whenever you're buying it. So I'm going to give you my top 3 things to look out for. 2 of them, pretty big deals, and 1 of them, not so big. Got to have one in there like that, right, guys? With that being said, if you get those items fixed, this is going to be a great truck for a long time coming. These transmissions and these motors have been in these trucks for a long time, and they're not going to give you any issues. As long as you take care of it, it's going to take care of you and get you where you need to go. Alright, so let's get started. What's going on? My name is Dustin, and if this is your first time stopping in on this channel, first of all, I want to welcome you, but also help me out by hitting the subscribe button down below and leaving a like on this video. We've got lots of truck-related content, and that's what today's video is especially about. I wanted to talk to you guys about these 2014 Silverados, and of course this is kind of going to cross over to the Sierra too, because they're pretty much brothers in the automotive world. But some common problems that you see with this style pickup here. Now keep in mind this has got the 5.3 liters, so some of these may not apply to the other models, with the 4.3 and the 6.2, but some of them probably do. So let's go ahead and get started. Now first off, I want to say, making this video, that these pickups, whenever I'm picking on these things, I'm being pretty nitpicky, and this is just kind of some stuff that you guys should watch out for if you're trying to buy one. I'm just trying to help you out. This video in no way is to try to run people off from buying these vehicles, because I've owned a couple of Silverados and I love them, and I'll always buy Silverados. I'm a Chevy guy, so they are not bad vehicles at all. That's not what I'm saying by this video, but these are just things to watch out for whenever you're going to be shopping to buy one. Of course, these are still fairly new on the market. I mean, of course, they're 5 years old now, but still, that's fairly new, and there's still some issues that are coming up. These trucks don't have just a ton of miles on them. We might make another video that does the 99 through 06, because I could nail all those problems that you need to look out for on them. So we'll do another video on that, and leave a comment down below if you want to see a video like that as well. But I want to give you kind of an overview of just my experience, what you might run into with these pickups here. So first thing I want to talk about, and this is the most widespread and biggest issue that I personally know of on these pickups, is the AC system. Man, I gotta say, they're terrible. Just everything that I read about them, they're terrible. And I've had a personal experience on this pickup here. So this is my 2014 Silverado. It's got the 5.3 in it, like I said. And the AC systems, whew, man, bad deal. Of course, Chevy didn't do a recall on them, but they did release some updated parts, is my understanding anyway, to fix some of the issues. But to fix some of the issues early on, they were producing and selling so many that they couldn't keep up with the demand. And what I'm talking about is the AC system. In fact, I've had this truck for about a month, and we went out with some friends to catch a movie and eat dinner one night, and it was finally just starting to get warm enough. I bought this truck in winter, and had I had enough sense, I would have turned the AC on, checked to make sure the condenser was running. Of course, it was cold because it was cold outside, but didn't think to check the condenser, see if it was running. But anyways, it was kind of warm that night. Turned the AC on, and they're like, "Man, it doesn't feel very cool back here." And I got to thinking about it, and I thought, that's not cold at all. So sure enough, I got home and I've got a few gauges that I threw on the AC to see, if there's a charge in there, if there's any pressure or anything, and there wasn't. So of course, that was kind of aggravating. So I got to doing some research on it, and it turns out there's lots of failure points on these pickups. What failed for me was the condenser, and I'll show you guys where it failed at. But in the front of the grill on the driver's side here, there's kind of like a little weld at the top here. And inside there is actually where it failed. Now the compressors are bad about going out too on these, as well as the line that runs from the condenser to the compressor. That's another known issue, but GM has since released a bracket that you can put on there to kind of preventative maintenance fix it, if you will. Fortunately, if you do have one of these issues and you're fairly handy with mechanics, it's a pretty easy fix. I replaced the condenser in probably an hour. Just rented a vacuum from AutoZone, filled it up with Freon, and guess what? It's working great now. Don't have any issues at all. But really, if you got to do the condenser line, and the compressor, none of them are really hard to get to. That's one of the really nice things about these pickups is they are actually fairly easy to work on. You pop the hood, there's lots of room on each side to actually work on them. Can't say that about some of the other brands out there, but that is one nice thing about these pickups here. So that's the biggest issue that I've personally experienced with this one here, and have heard of a lot of other people having issues with. There's a few more, and like I said, this is kind of well, the second one's not really nitpicky, but the third one will be. And I'm only going to go over 3 today because I've only really seen 3 issues that seem to kind of be common across these pickups to really look out for. Of course, like I say, just being early on in their life cycle, that we probably won't see a lot of these things until later in the life. The 07 through 13 had early on in the 07, kind of the 07 through probably 2010, the active fuel management where they do the cylinder shut off, that was a real big issue on those. They were burning fuel, and I'm sorry, not burning fuel, but burning oil, and lots of them had issues with that. I will say that this one, this pickup, has got a little over 80,000 miles on it, and hasn't had a single issue with that, and I don't expect it to. It actually transitions between 8 cylinders and 4 cylinders really smooth. You don't even notice it really. And it doesn't have an issue with that, so I'm not even worried about that. And I wouldn't worry about it either, guys, if you've got this particular gear model. So let's move on to the inside, because the next thing that I've heard, and GM actually did do a recall on this issue, and what it is on these year models, and I will say it is really nice. You've never felt anything like it until you drove one of these. The steering is electric. So there's no pump or anything like that under the hood. It's all electric. And I mean, this thing, you can literally turn it with one finger, your pinky, if you wanted to. And keep in mind, guys, this has got 33s on it. So this isn't just a little toy. It's a fairly good sized truck. So to be able to do that's pretty impressive. But what you got to look out for, and like I say, Chevy did a recall on it, so check yours out, guys, see if it's been fixed or not. But at lower speeds, what it'll do is the steering wheel will lock up and you can't even turn it. And it's just for a second or two, and it'll let you start turning it again. But, it was a big enough issue that they did actually issue a recall for it. So, that kind of has me concerned, and I don't think this one's been done yet. Fortunately, I haven't had that problem with this model, but it is an open recall on this pickup that you guys may want to check out. So, that's another issue there. And another thing that I've noticed, and I don't understand how this one got messed up, but, I listen to the radio, a lot of FM radio, and I'm just really surprised by it. I noticed that, in town, like where my wife's pickup will get reception, or even my old pickup, which was an 06 Silverado, it got great reception everywhere. This one's just fuzzy as can be. I mean, it's got the standard antenna, the kind of dopey looking big old antenna on there, just like every other year model Silverado has ever had. And believe it or not, but it's kind of staticky, and in places that it shouldn't be, it's staticky. And I just don't get that. I don't know how they messed that one up, but it seems to be kind of across the board. I'm not the first person to say it. I've seen that quite a bit online, and like I say, it's being kind of nitpicky. I do listen to FM radio, but I also hook my iPhone up to the Bluetooth in here, which works pretty darn well. So, that's nice. Oh, and in making this video too, if any of you guys out there that are watching this have the Chevy MyLink, this is the 2014, so it doesn't have the Apple CarPlay and all those goodies like that. Let me know if there is a way to upgrade this, whether it's software-wise or replacing something that you can do to get that. Not a huge deal, but just wondering if any of you guys have experience with that. Okay, guys, that was my top 3 things to look out for on these pickups. The radio antenna is kind of nitpicky. The other 2 are pretty solid, though. You want to check that out. You want your AC to work, and you want to be able to steer it the direction that you want to go. So definitely have those checked out. Overall, super solid pickup, though. These 5.3s have been around for a long time, and I'm sure they will continue to be just because they are so well built. I think they're awesome. And, dependability is right there. Transmission on this thing's solid, too. Everything else will fall apart before those do, really. I don't know about rust on these. I will say that this one hasn't had any issues with the frame rusting or anything, or the rockers down there like you saw on previous year models. I mean, Chevy has been fighting that forever with down here the rockers wanting to rust out, but as you can see, this pickup is pretty solid. There's no rust anywhere. Might be a few paint chips, but no rust or anything like that. So I'm hopeful that, you know, that's not going to be an issue in the future. And I don't anticipate it. I think they may have got it fixed on this year model. Alright guys, if you enjoyed the video, please be sure to leave a thumbs up on this video and hit that subscribe button so you get notifications in the future of whenever we got new videos out there. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.